A couple months ago, I traveled to Orlando, Florida to go on a week's vacation on Disney property. In this video, I'll be diving into each day of the vacation, so it's like a cute thing. It's like you came with me. We did a video just like this over 5 years ago, so welcome to the very long-awaited sequel. We arrived at the Art of Animation Hotel on Disney property. Right away, I enjoyed the vibe of this resort, seeing the storyboard sketches on the classic Disney and Pixar animated films. We were located in the Little Mermaid section of the resort. The room was very themed. We unpacked our stuff and visited the Blizzard Beach water park. This was actually my first time visiting the water park, and I actually really enjoyed it. The theming was incredible. The fact that they had a full sky ride to make it to one of the water slides is that's insane to me, I feel like. And it definitely felt good to cool off in one of the pools since we were now in Orlando, Florida, and oh my god, is it hot in Orlando, Florida. After this, we visited Disney Springs to briefly look around stores as well as to lose all of my money. We took the boat ride to Disney's Port Orleans Resort, which is a resort that I'd never been to before, so it was actually very nice to go check this out. We walked around for a bit and eventually made our way to the beignet line. I've always heard amazing things about beignets, but I'd actually never got the chance to try one. So I ordered some with the chocolate sauce, and I just thought it was very okay. A couple days later, I did go back to try it with the caramel sauce, and it was a lot better. So some time passed, and we went back to the Art of Animation to get some rest for the next day, when we went to Disney's Hollywood Studios. We started off our day by taking our last ever ride on Rock and Roller Coaster with Aerosmith, before they retheme it to the Muppets. Even though it was always Aerosmith for me, I actually am looking forward to it being the Muppets ride. I feel like Disney can actually do this retheme very well, and I actually am looking forward to this ride when it does open back up to the public. After this, we went across the park to check out the Rise of the Resistance ride, and even though the park had not technically even opened yet, the line was still over 2 hours long. And also didn't help that it was 100 degrees outside already, even though it was like 9 a.m. So yeah, it was hot. But we eventually made it inside, and besides Avatar, I feel like this is definitely one of the best queues for any ride. I got some footage of the ride as well, which I don't know if I'm allowed to show, but I'm just gonna...
How brave, but ultimately hopeless. There's nowhere to run.
Afterwards, we decided to just walk around the area, and I gotta say, I enjoyed this area much more than I did last time.
Next, we go to the Star Wars section, and personally, I thought it was overrated. I mean, it's what they did with Avatar, but it's Star Wars. Finally, we go to Toy Story Land, and this was much more pleasant to look at, besides rocks, and plants, and dirt.
Then we decided to make our way to the Toy Story area in the park. We walked past Slinky Dog Dash because that shit was a 5-hour wait time, and we were not doing that. Probably the most overrated ride in existence ever. We got in line for Toy Story Mania, and I absolutely destroyed the competition. We got some food, and then we headed to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad. And it's just the absolute banger that I remember it being. Eventually, we checked out the Tower of Terror, I was aiming to see the Fantasmic show later that evening because, yet again, I have not checked it out. Now that I'm reading this out loud, I feel like I haven't been experiencing Disney World the way I should have been, but it was too early to wait in line for Fantasmic, so we decided to walk around the entrance to the park, eventually making our way to the theater show, which played Mickey and Minnie Vacation Fun. This was just the theater that showed episodes of the Mickey show. I forgot the name of it. It was a good show, but moving on. Eventually, a line began to form, and oh my god, did it form quick. Some time passed, and after over an hour of waiting, they finally opened the gates. And let me tell you, we got quite literally the best seats in the house. Front row, dead center. It was looking to be a great night. However, Orlando weather decided to be a absolute that night, and eventually this started to happen.
Due to inclement weather in the area, this performance of Fantasmic will not be presented.
Disney said that the show was canceled, and at first I was very disappointed. I was totally fine sitting in the pouring rain to watch the show until about 5 minutes later when it started to absolutely downpour. So sadly, we had to leave. It's so sad, please take a knee. But eventually I felt quite glee because it was time for day 3 at the Animal Kingdom. We got early access to the park and immediately made our way to the Avatar area. One of, if not the best ride at Disney property. Afterwards, we hiked all the way around the park to make it to the Safari ride. I will die on this hill. I don't know why. I feel like Animal Kingdom, for some reason, is significantly warmer than any other park on Disney property. Maybe that's just like a weird Disney fact that I missed, but somehow I know Walt made this park significantly hotter than any other place on Disney property. But we made it to the Safari ride, which was fun, but for some reason, our driver of the vehicle that we were on was absolutely flying on the trail.
You'll be on the lookout for the Safari badge today. Keep your eyes peeled for a Wilderness Explorers guide. We'll be waiting for you. And do keep alert.
We ended up seeing Kevin the Bird from Up and made our way to the Kali River Rapids. Following that was a great ride on Expedition Everest, always a banger no matter what, and we made our way to the final ride on Dinosaur. And it's just as incredibly violent as I remember it being. After that, we were pretty much done with Animal Kingdom. I feel like Animal Kingdom really isn't like a full day park. It has plenty of rides, but like to be honest, you can easily get on all of them within a couple hours. So we headed back to the resort, some time passed, and we headed back to Disney Springs. Had the most okay poutine of my life. Big surprise, it started to rain again, and we ended up heading back to the hotel for the night and got plenty of rest for the next day since day 4, we are doing a full day at Magic Kingdom. I decided to dress up that day in my full Disney attire. We actually got very early access to Magic Kingdom that day. We wanted to get a head start to go on Tiana's Bayou, however, that entire area of the park was actually roped off. So we decided to hit other rides such as Peter Pan's Flight and the incredibly intense It's a Small World. Luckily, we got back to the rope just in time. A crowd formed behind us, and eventually, the poor Disney World employee had a near-death experience when he opened the floodgates to the area of Tiana's Bayou.
Thank you, Marvin. Thank you, Marvin.
And in that moment, as I was running in the crowd to the boat ride, it came to me. I had now become one of them. Up until this moment, I had been infected with the Disney adult mentality, and this action of sprinting to the ride gave me a moment of clarity. I had fallen right into Walter's trap. I was right where he wanted me to be, in his theme park, spending money on food and merchandise for his empire. Good thing I didn't get off. I needed to get on Tiana's Bayou, bro, which was actually closed when we got to it. They low-key need to lock in because this shit's been having problems for like months now. But we actually turned around and we got not one, but 2 back-to-back walk-ons for the Haunted Mansion. Then finally, Tiana's Bayou had opened, we got online, and to be honest, I actually really enjoyed this re-theme. I love Princess and the Frog, it's actually one of my favorite movies. We made our way to Tomorrowland. We took a lap on the People Mover, an amazing ride on the Carousel Progress, unironically one of my favorite rides. And next we headed to Space Mountain. We were gonna get in line for Tron, but to be honest, the line was like 2.5 hours and we kind of just wanted to wait until later. So I don't know why, but I kind of thought that the line would be shorter if we waited. It didn't, but during the time I thought that would be the case. But we ended up making our way to the Little Mermaid ride. I'm just going to say this real quick. I'm going to complain a little bit. When we got in the line for the Little Mermaid ride, that sign said it was a 15-minute wait. Tell me why we were in line for 45 minutes, Walter. We saw the Main Street Parade and just chilled around the castle for a little bit. We got on the Pirates of the Caribbean ride, another ride on the People Mover. We really got our steps that day because that path makes absolutely no sense. And eventually we made our way to get on Tron. I will say this, Tron possibly has the second slowest line on Disney property. We will get to number 1 in a little bit, don't worry. But we got our ride on Tron and then decided to just lie low until the light show. The rain almost ruined an entire night for me, I'm not gonna lie. If the shows were canceled, I think I would have burned Disney World to the ground. They did have to push it back an hour or so, but at this point we didn't really care. We were already at the park for like 13 hours at this point. But this was a great way to end the night. We got to see Disney's new show, Starlight Dream the Night Away. It was okay. Nothing to like write home about. I mean, it was just another parade at night, which looked beautiful, but like it's nothing crazy, I guess. But then we saw Happily Ever After, and it's just the best thing ever, I'm not gonna lie. I really mean it when I say that Disney is the only company that can pull this off. The show ended and I moved my way through the sea of people and left the park. I probably smelled a lot, but I didn't care because I left that park feeling very accomplished. Day 5 was the break day between parks. Definitely needed it after that long day at Magic Kingdom. We walked around Disney Springs for a bit, visited Port Orleans again, tried another beignet, this time with caramel sauce. I mean, without a doubt, the better version to get. Just a quick note, I did go to the bathroom at Port Orleans. I did notice their very questionable bathroom design. That's fine because the rest of the resort is absolutely beautiful. Sometime down the line, and for another Disney vlog, once I become the next Chief Creator Officer at Pixar, I'll have enough money to squeeze out for maybe a night or 2 at Port Orleans. We headed back to the Art of Animation Resort and just relaxed for the rest of the afternoon. Spent some time at the cafe there, and I indulged and ate a lot of black garlic truffle fries. I've probably had these like 15 times during the week. I can still kind of taste it in my mouth a little bit. But these dishes of black truffle fries made me feel, I don't know, it just didn't make me feel that right. Maybe I needed to expand my palate a little bit. Possibly try some new dishes. Possibly try out some kind of food made from a certain chef. If only I knew a good chef at Disney World. If only I knew a certain chef who happened to be a rat at Disney World. For our last full day on Disney property, we went to Epcot. First stop, Paris. Immediately got in line for the Ratatouille ride. Afterwards, I bought a little Remy, got some crepes, which were actually very good. Took this photo. Look at that. Look at that guy. We then walked around the lake, or the world. World? Yeah, the world. Made a stop by the Frozen Ever After ride, which was actually a very nice surprise because I kind of went on this ride completely blind.
What the? Why is it going backwards? Oh my god.
Wasn't expecting the boat to go backwards, to say the very least.
Yo, that ride was fire, dude. That was insane.
After that, we hit this ride. It was kind of tucked away inside this indoor shopping center for some reason, which once again, no idea what was there. Definitely recommend if you're like trying to just get away from the crowds for a little bit because absolutely no one was there. We made our way around the park to get onto Spaceship Earth. Some time passed by, and we made our way to the #1 spot of the slowest moving line ever, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. I feel like I was born, raised, lived a full life, passed away, and reincarnated in the same line for Cosmic Rewind. It also doesn't help that the ride broke down multiple times. Even after all this happened though, this is the only ride in the world, or the galaxy, that is worth the wait. Cosmic Rewind is simply the best ride in the world. Or should I say, galaxy. We wanted to get on the new Test Track ride because they just updated it, but after waiting in line for nearly 4 hours for Cosmic Rewind, the line for Test Track just did not seem fun. Plot twist, you're not ready for this one, it began to rain, so we took another ride on Spaceship Earth. We walked around the park for a little bit, did that cool little Moana attraction, drank some sodas at Club Cool, we saw the ball light show, and we headed back for our last night of the trip. Now that I'm thinking about it, we didn't do that much for this day. We were kind of just in line for Cosmic Rewind, and then it started to rain a lot. We didn't even get on Soarin'. Oh my god. Wow, we actually missed a lot that day. But whatever, it was still an amazing day, and I had a blast. Unfortunately, it was time to go home. I don't think there was a more devastating feeling that I experienced that week compared to being in that bus once we passed by the exit sign for Disney property. The only thing that made me feel a little bit better was the bus driver we had going back to the airport.
Okay, everybody had a nice vacation.
Yeah.
Everybody ready to go home and get some rest? Just remember, you're still on vacation.
We got through airport security, waited for our flight, and waved goodbye to the surface of the sun for the time being. This trip was obviously amazing, and I'll always enjoy a good Disney visit, and I think it's safe to say that this trip just moved me one step closer to becoming a Disney adult. Doesn't mean I am one though, I didn't say that.